We're gonna try this again and see if we can get Frenchie to join.
Are we good?
There we go. I think so. I hope so. I don't know what was going on, dude.
Sorry, learning a couple things. Yeah, I invited you to join, and then you declined, and then I added you as a moderator, and apparently that's not a that you can't join a live if you're a moderator. So my bad.
I guess not. No, it's all good. It's all good.
But
Let's see.
yeah, I'm excited for our video tonight. We're gonna talk about Supergirl.
No, me too. I'm very excited because not that our ratings are very like far off, but um they're different though. So
Yeah, I mean, I
they
I haven't I haven't heard you give a negative review yet. Like, I don't think I've heard you score anything below an eight. So the fact that you were texting me and telling me that Supergirl's at a six, I'm like, whew, I like, I've been really excited to talk about this because you obviously have a lot to say. And I mean, I obviously feel like I have a lot to say about it too, but I'm really curious to hear your thoughts. But, but before that,
yeah.
yeah, creator shout out of the week.
Yeah. Did you have someone in mind?
We
Or
didn't
I
talk
I
about this
mean
in advance.
I've got someone shared.
If you want to go this week, I mean, I'm sure we both know the same person. We're both going to be like, no, duh.
Yeah, no, there's one that let's see. I know them, but sometimes it's hard for me to remember all their tags, but I'm pretty sure it's called or their page is called I sort builds or it's I sort the builds.
Cool.
It's something like that. I think it's I sort builds.
Cool. I don't
I'm
know if
pretty
I
sure
recognize that
it's
name.
a couple. It's a couple that runs the page.
Sweet.
We'll make sure to tag the correct page in the comments, so
Yeah.
make sure to go follow them. But the reason I like them is they're fairly new. I think within the last month or two, I think.
Yeah. Sweet.
Um, or maybe that's just when we started following each other. Um, but they're just like super legit, like real people. They get on to share funny videos of the both of them, and they do videos together as husband and wife, and it's super cool. And yeah, they're just a fun, you know, couple of people. So super nice. Um, but yeah, they're just super cool and a great part of the community. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
I'll make sure we tag the right page in the comments. So go give them a follow. Like I said, they're awesome, and they've always got some funny reviews or builds or things going on. So they're cool.
Heck yeah. That's awesome. Man,
Yeah,
I love that. I feel like having the couple dynamic is a little less common in Lego social media. So that's
true.
always it's always nice to have that. And by the way, just thanks to everyone who's joined so far and everyone who listens to this afterwards. We really appreciate every person being willing to show up and listen and participate in one way or another to make these fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, totally.
So
Well, should we dive into this review?
yeah, let's get into it. I landed at a 6 out of 10 for Supergirl, and I'll start with my pros. Things I did like about it, and then you can go, obviously.
Yeah,
But just to start out, did I hate the movie? No, I didn't hate the movie. I gave it a 6 out of 10. Um, but I didn't love it either.
yeah,
Like I didn't love it. It was far from perfect. Um, and we'll talk, I'm sure, but I think that's okay that it's not a 10 out of 10 movie. Like,
yeah,
ugh, there's like a fly in here. Which is okay. Like, yes, it would have been nice if it was a 10 out of 10. Um, but it wasn't for me, and I think that's okay. So my pros for the movie were I liked Millie as Supergirl. Like I think
yeah.
she was a great casting. Um, and I like can't wait to see more of her Supergirl. So I think that I loved Jason Momoa as Lobo. I think he was perfect as Lobo. Um, I wish he would have had few more scenes. I feel like it was very, very short. Um,
Yeah.
oh, there's so much on my mind that I want to talk about, but I'll just talk about pros right now. So I liked that. The action was good. It was entertaining. Like I was entertained, and CGI was iffy here and there, but when it did hit, it like hit really good.
Yeah.
Um, it was 50-50s. Like when it was really good, like when it was good, it was really good. And I was like, wow, like some of the flying scenes, I was like, wow, really impressed. But then on the other end of that 50-50, there were some scenes I was like, whoa, like that is, I don't know what's going on there, but it doesn't look really great. So, but
Yeah.
that's okay. It's hard to get all CGI perfect.
Totally.
So yeah, those are some of my pros. Um, I think my biggest pro, though, like I mentioned, I think my overall biggest pro was Millie as Supergirl. I just liked her as Supergirl, especially once she donned the fit, the costume finally. I wish she would have
Yeah.
spent a little
Totally.
more time in the costume, in her suit, I should say.
Yeah.
Um, but no, I think that's my overall pro is her as Supergirl. Um, I should just say the casting. The casting was really well done, I
Yeah.
think. And yeah, yeah, I think those are my main pros. So I'll let you go though with
No,
your
I'm.
pros.
Yeah. I think I'm on the same page there. I think Millie Alcock was fantastic as Supergirl, and I think that they got her personality down in a really good way. Um,
Yeah,
it was, like I watched some of the Supergirl TV show, but I don't know. It kind of kicked me out a little. Once I was like in the middle of second or third season, I remember I just kind of bored because number one, like in the TV show, they make Supergirl a Boy Scout, or a Girl Scout, I guess. And I mean that's Superman,
yeah,
and Supergirl's meant to be edgy. She's meant to be kind of like a little bit of a loose cannon, and she's meant to
hmm
carry the trauma of the way she grew up, and actually like witnessing her people die. Not like this concept where the Clark's like, I think all my people, my people died, but I never met them, so it's like I care about it, but I
yeah,
don't, I don't have this personal connection. She's like, I lived it. So I thought that the way that they executed her character was really well done, and they share a good amount of backstory.
agreed.
I think the backstory parts of the film were actually probably I enjoyed them more than most of the rest of the film.
I will
Overall,
agree with you on that. Yeah,
yeah.
100%, hundred
So
percent.
I think that was, yeah, maybe they should have just done a whole backstory movie. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
It'd be
But it was,
cool. It'd be
yeah,
cool.
no, it was interesting. Yeah, besides that, I think, yeah, the casting was great. Jason Momoa, I think, plays the part of Lobo really well. Um, maybe in the cons we can talk about how he looks because I think it was really poorly done. But but I think he plays the part and has like the right personality of Lobo. I think he did a
Yeah,
great job. So I was I was surprised at some of the things that I thought were going to be come across kind of cheesy or boring that I actually enjoyed more than I expected. So um, yeah, I think I was expecting around an 8 out of 10, and I think that's what I feel like I kind of walked away with.
yeah,
Maybe a little lower than that, but it exceeded my expectations in some areas, and it was definitely, did not exceed my expectations in other areas. So yeah, but
I will
yeah,
say another. Oh, sorry. Another pro for me was it was just good to see David Cornsweet
yeah,
back as Superman because um, I think he's an amazing Superman. I think he just is the part, and I think on and off the screen he embodies Superman. I just really like him as Superman, and I'm glad
yeah,
we saw some scenes, but and the scenes between him and Kara, especially, I really enjoyed. Like I thought they had a great dynamic, um, and I'm glad that we will be seeing more of them, side by side.
yeah.
Hopefully, maybe next year, even a little bit. So,
Totally. I'm pretty sure she's going to
yeah,
be a
that
pretty big part of Superman or Man of Tomorrow. Yeah,
good, 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 good. So
yeah,
that was another pro for me. But are we? Should we get into cons?
yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah. Okay. So some of the cons for me, so the story overall just didn't hit quite for me. Like there were certain aspects of the story, I guess you could either say the writing, script, story, whatever you want to call it, that it either felt like unfinished, like not complete for me. I just felt like, first of all, I wasn't a huge fan of Creme or the
Agreed.
Creme. Um, I just felt like there was no stakes at all. Um, like I don't know, I just feel like it was more Ruthie's story and Supergirl was just kind of like caught up in her story. And which I haven't read the comic and I
Yeah.
know it's from, isn't it from perspective, right? Or from her side of the story or something like that.
I
I'm
don't
pretty I'm
recall.
not 100% sure.
Yeah, I haven't read it either, but I have heard it's like one of
Um
the best Supergirl comics of all time.
and
So
so maybe it
yeah,
was going for that, but just for a lot of people who maybe haven't read the comic going to see a Supergirl movie, I don't know. I just felt like the story or and like there was good backstory for Supergirl and I thoroughly enjoyed that. And maybe I don't know. I didn't like Creme. Um
agreed.
I feel like there was no, like I said, I feel like there was no stakes or I feel like they nerfed her hardcore. I'm like he's just a dude. Like there's just all these dudes. I don't know, none of them were like superheroed individuals. And I know the point of the movie was maybe, her coming to a self-realization that she can be a good person, right? Like she has purpose in life. And so I
Yeah.
understand that there's like personal, like it's a personal story too, and I did like that. But at the same time, like it is a comic book movie, right? Like you need a good bad guy just as much as you need a good hero to make a good story,
Yep.
right? I think so. Some of the best movies have good villains, and
Yeah.
um I just thought for what she was up against, I thought cooked everybody in that entire like, she's hardcore and she's bad A, and it's not like she's a rookie, right? She's not like a
Yeah.
noob, and like she's experienced in what she does, right? It's been a while, and so I just felt like, man, I would have loved to see her kick some more butt. And I just felt
For
like
real.
I just felt like they nerfed her a lot in the movie, and like anytime she was about to bounce back, kind of towards the end, um, like, oh, boom, green sun. I was like, okay, whatever. But then right after that, she kicks some butt. Oh, kryptonite arrows. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, we just did the whole thing kind of like 2 seconds ago. Um, and I had some beef with that too, like how they instantly knew she was Kryptonian and how they instantly had kryptonite. And,
Yeah. True.
so there was, and then maybe that's part of the story that I didn't like a ton. Um, but yeah, that was the cons for me. Um, what else was I going to say? I know this is kind of controversial. I've seen it all over social media, but the needle drop, the song, and the climax battle, you know what I'm talking about?
I don't even remember what the song was.
The In
Oh,
the
it was
Middle,
it was all this or yeah, was it in the middle or all the small things?
the Middle by Jimmy Eats World, but it's like a
Okay, it was in the
cover
middle. Okay,
of
yeah, it was
it
a
by a
cover.
woman.
Yeah.
I did not like it at all. I just thought it
It's a little
was,
awkward.
and this is, I know it's controversial. There's people that loved it. There's people that didn't like it. I'm one of the ones that didn't like it. Um, it just did not feel like it fit right there. Like I understand the scene itself. I just feel like like the music was not it. Like I was maybe hoping for like Call Me, like the song they've been promoting the whole movie with.
Yeah.
That was kind of an actiony, upbeat song to like have her punching some guys to. Um, or just like in the climax fight of Superman song, but it's this like uplifting, hopeful music, right? Or
Yeah.
just something kind of. I just feel like it didn't fit, and a lot of people. I'll finish right here, and then you can go. But a lot of people were like, "Oh, they did that in Superman with Mister Terrific. They put like a fun song to his fight." And I was like, "Yeah, that is true." And there's a lot of goofy, not goofy, but fun songs in like Guardians of the Galaxy, right?
Yeah.
I just feel like for like the climax, like that was the climax. I feel like of the movie was that battle, that scene, and then leading on to um, Supergirl's interaction with Krem. Like that was the climax, and I just feel like okay, maybe you could have done that song somewhere else in the movie, but just for the big finale, the climax of the movie, it just didn't hit for me. It didn't fit for me. So
Yeah.
it was just kind of a weird vibe. Like me and my wife were like, this just
Hmm.
feels like weird. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, like it's a slow motion, it's a slow song. I don't know. It didn't
Like kind of like took
but
away from the moment a little bit, right?
I feel like yeah, I feel like I was more like, whoa, what is this song right now? You know, like what's going on? So but again, I know a lot of people liked it, and so I'm glad if you did, but for me it just was not it. So
And I think I think that's totally fair. I will wholeheartedly agree with Krem. I feel like Krem was just, I mean, in a lot of ways, Krem and his bad guys feel like they were ripped straight out of Guardians of the Galaxy. Um,
yeah, like some
it,
Ravengers.
yeah, totally. And I mean, I know that that people are probably making tons of Guardians of the Galaxy comparisons, um, and I would say rightly so. I mean, it has a very Guardians of the Galaxy vibe in a lot of the
Yes.
spaceports and the planets, and it just yeah, it feels very like, yeah, I don't know. It's a little weird to go from like we have this DCU to being like we have Superman on Earth, something we recognize, and then suddenly being like, and here we are in space, and it's Guardians of the Galaxy. By the way, this is the only way we can portray futuristic space. You know, I don't know. I thought that not like a huge complaint for me, but it was kind of like, it feels like we're just trying to copy James Gunn style, and James Gunn
Yeah, a
does
little
what he
bit.
does well. Yeah. So yeah, that's I definitely will say that was definitely an interesting part for me. But I feel like, and I know I alluded to this earlier. I feel like Lobo looked so dumb.
The
I
design.
like it wasn't Jason Momoa's chest, like his abs. It was like they put like a fat suit on him. Like I'm dead serious. Like you look at his abs and you're like, that doesn't look like a real person. Like it looked like he had like some fake like added on six pack, and I was like, what is this? He like it just looked like he was like had plastic on his chest. I was like, this is so weird, And I don't know, I was really looking forward to seeing him portray the character because I feel like, oh my gosh, like that's a great character for Jason Momoa. But I feel like the way he looked kicked me out big time. Like it
Kind of
just
threw
felt
you
very,
off.
it just felt cheesy to me. It felt cheesy. It felt kind of cartoony. So, and admittedly, I'm not a makeup artist or whatever. I couldn't have done any better myself. Um, but still, I just felt like it was a little like it just felt a little too cartoony for me. So
Cartoony.
I don't know.
A little
They
too
may,
like cosplay.
yeah, but like a lot of cosplayers are a lot better than that. um, yeah, that was like that was like one of those things where I was like, eh. And the Krem guy, I thought they were gonna kill him off like the entire movie. Like she literally had like four opportunities to kill the guy, and I'm like, you have laser eyes. Like he should be dead in
Mm.
3 seconds, like 7 times.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
I'm like, why are we dragging this out? Just like blast him and he's gone. Uh,
Hmm.
and I'm also
Well,
like, she has
yeah.
super speed. There were so many opportunities where like there's a family that dies in the middle of the movie, and I'm like, wait a second, she has super speed. Like she could literally be anywhere and everywhere in seconds. And I know she was like a little bit wounded, but I'm like, that shouldn't have happened. Not to mention, like it was just kind of sad and grotesque.
Yeah.
It's yeah. I feel like they instead of getting you to love the villain, but still want his demise, like Thanos, they just
Yeah.
tried to make you hate him more, and
Hmm.
I don't feel like that's actually a very compelling story. I feel like that's a really cheap storytelling tactic. Um, it's just not interesting. Um, so
Yeah.
yeah, I just feel like his character was so shallow, and was just like he's bad because he likes to be bad. Um, Whereas like if you get someone like in some of like the movies and stuff, like she'll be going against Brainiac. In the like the My Adventures with Superman, Brainiac has like convinced Supergirl he's her dad, and she like
Yeah.
treats him like her father. and she's like pays obeisance to him. So to overcome him is like this really great thing, and
Yeah.
I feel like having some kind of relationship with someone that she looked up to that has betrayed her, that and she's trying to kind of break away from her Kryptonian heritage to make a new future or something like that. To me, it's much more compelling as a story than your dog got stolen by a dirt bag and let's go hunt him down and kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Which
Anyway.
is funny because like I was thinking about like because that was a huge plot. Like that's how she got involved was
Yeah.
oh her dog got poisoned and like she's going after the antidote to save her
Totally.
dog. And so I kind of had a hard time around like being like oh like that's the main story like that's why she's involved in this whole thing like that's the only reason why
Yeah.
it was kind of like a little underwhelming for me. And it's kind of funny because I was like, oh, okay, well, that's essentially the plot of John Wick, and I love John Wick.
Yeah.
Um, so it's kind of funny the difference, just seeing the difference there.
Like John
Um,
Wick with a woman in space and a red cape. Yeah.
pretty much. Um, but what was I going to say? Oh, I did see somewhere that they cut a lot of Krem backstory.
Mm.
At least what I saw, like what I read is that he was supposedly like abused as a child and had like a terrible childhood, this kind of thing. And it was gonna dive a little more deeper into him, um, as we kind of saw in the movie about him being like a trafficker.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so that I mean that's a little dark, right? But I mean it's a reality. And I think I would have enjoyed the movie more, maybe seeing more of that backstory and seeing someone like Supergirl take down a dirtbag like that, you know, just I don't know, just a little more story. Yeah, like his character, Krem's character is just so shallow, and maybe it's because a lot of that his stuff got taken out of the film.
Yeah.
But I feel like that would have made you, and not like I don't know, because I feel like all his scenes he was just like jumping and like laughing and like giggling around like ooh ah ee, and I'm like what the freak is going on? But like I don't know if they would have added that backstory like you would have been like, oh, he's like a terrible human being. Like
Yeah.
he deserves the worst of the worst, And so maybe they should have left that in. Maybe it would have made a difference. Maybe it wouldn't know. Um, but I feel like yeah, he could have had some more story and character to him. At the end of the day, like it's a move. Like it is what it is. So can't
Yeah.
change it. So yeah, I
Totally.
feel like pretty confident in my 6 out of 10 rating, to be honest. I think I had more again, like it was a fun watch, right? Like I wasn't bored. I was never bored.
Yeah.
And it was entertaining, it was fun, but like it wasn't a well written, good, great movie, that I was like, oh, that was amazing. Like the type of movie that you walk out feeling like a different person, right? Like I
Totally.
didn't feel that for me. And I hope, if you did feel that way, like that's awesome that you connected to it in that way. But I did not.
Yeah.
Um, and maybe kind of leading on into a next category or segment, okay, that for me it was a 6 out of 10. Like I just think like Marvel Phase One, not every movie was a banger. Not every movie was a 10 out of 10,
No.
right? And so I think we forget that sometimes, especially now because we look back 10, 11, 12 years ago, and I think like I grew up with those, like they were all amazing, right? In reality, like they weren't,
Yeah. No.
Like I look back at Spider-Man 3 and like, oh, like that's a fun movie, right? And like it's not a good movie at all. Like it's terribly written, but I remember Venom, right? Like and stuff
Yeah.
like that as a kid. And so I think some nostalgia hits. So I think we forget that okay, not every movie is a 10 out of 10, and I don't think it has to be, right? Like I don't think Supergirl is a essential crucial part to the overall story of this first phase of the DCU, right? But I
Yeah.
think it's a good way to introduce her. It's a good way to kind of get to know her a little bit. Um, and so I think that's okay, right? I think it's okay. And like I said, so excited to see more of her in the future and hopefully a big old team up movie, her fighting next to Clark, right? And so, yeah, I'm excited. And is it one that I'll sit down and rewatch? Honestly, probably not. Maybe if I go to someone, maybe once my kids are older, right? Like, but I'm not
Yeah,
gonna sit down myself and go watch it. Like once it starts streaming or anything like that.
yeah.
But um, yeah, that's my little rant there.
No, I think that's such a good point. I mean, I think a pro of the movie is I'm super happy to see Supergirl on the big screen. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
it's about freaking time, and I guess she was in the Flash, but it just didn't. That I don't know.
No, that was not. Don't get me started on that, man.
That movie was pretty poor. I mean, what's sad is like like trending towards Supergirl's trending towards being maybe like one of the lowest grossing superhero films of all time, at least like mainstream big budget. But I hope,
Yeah,
I really hope that DC Studios has learned their lesson and they don't try and just like change the direction every movie because they get scared about money. Kind of like they did with
yeah,
the Snyderverse. It's yeah. Um, Unity is way more powerful than trying to be right. So, um, yeah, I think so. I was reading this article yesterday. I think about it was talking about kind of the downfall of Supergirl in a lot of ways is that it feels like the director was trying to be James Gunn and was
yeah,
kind of was trying to copy James Gunn in the sense of like, well, James Gunn has made movies that look like this, and his bad guys look like this, and his universe looks like this, and it's kind of like copying some of like the visual things, but not understanding like what's at the heart of a James Gunn story, right? Which is like the
yeah.
person and the character. And and there's
Totally.
certain elements that like James Gunn's so good at that that he just does a great job. I mean, I don't think there's any James Gunn movie for me that's like more than maybe a 9 out of 10 at best. Um, but so his
Yeah.
his style is not like my favorite style, but I think he does a great job. I mean, he rarely does not do a good job. So I've never seen a movie that he's done that I was like he did a horrible job on that one. So um, yeah, it's interesting. I it makes me curious to see kind of like how the DCU kind of changes going forward. Um, like what impact does this have? Does it have any impact? Does it? I mean, does it need to have an impact? Maybe not, but yeah, I definitely,
Yeah.
I'm excited for the Lantern show coming out later this year. I'm, I'm,
Oh
I,
yeah.
I love Green Lantern. It's always been one of my favorite characters. I tried so hard to like that movie in 2011, um, but I just don't. It was just
Yeah,
disappointing. Uh,
it's
but
tough. Yeah.
but though it's actually one of my brothers. It's one of his favorite movies. Like legitimately,
Really.
he came out of the movie like to like I mean he loves almost every movie he sees, but he like I feel like we didn't know before that movie that like Green Lantern's superpower was like will pretty much. Um and he I think it like gave him a lot of strength in his life to like have the willpower to make better
Good.
choices, which is interesting. So
Good.
I mean, I think that's way cool. It's funny because everyone can come to a movie with something different and can have a
Oh
different
yeah.
experience, right? Um, and a lot of times what's miraculous about a movie or amazing is when you can make something that everybody can relate to and connect with, something that even if they don't share a lived experience or a similar lived experience, they can
Yeah.
understand the emotion and it kind of creates this emotional experience. Um, I feel like Supergirl had a couple of good messages, but
Yes.
at the same time, I don't feel like they felt super personally relevant. I know for me, like I mean, there was like the revenge theme of like don't revenge is never going to give you make you feel better, um, and I think there's something good about that. But I think forgiveness is a way more powerful message than no revenge. um,
Yeah.
yeah, which is a hard thing to execute, especially when you have such a disgusting bad guy. But
Oh yeah. No, I agree.
yeah,
there was one theme in there. I don't remember the exact words, but I remember the scene. It's when her mom is sick.
Yeah.
I guess spoilers ahead for anyone. So her mom is sick, and she tells her, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's something along the line of like, you don't have to be. It's like it's okay to like not be nice to everyone, but like you need to be still like a
Kind.
good, like you need
Yeah.
to be good, like you need to be
Yeah.
kind to everyone. And I'm sure quote, and it would be a lot better than what I just did, what I just said. Um, but I think that's I really like that. Um, because I don't know, I feel like this year I've definitely been trying to be like nicer,
Yeah.
whether it be just like everyone, like people I work with, just interactions online, just being like nicer to people. And sometimes obviously it's hard, but kind of what I took away from the movie along those lines was like, okay, you don't need to be best friends with everybody, right? Like, especially if they're not good people, right? Like, you don't want to be friends with a terrible person, right? You don't want that influence in your life. But,
Yeah.
like, you can still be kind to them in the sense that you don't have to go out of your way to be like rude to them. Or does that make hopefully it makes sense, trying what
Yeah.
I'm trying to say. But I think just, being a good message I liked from the movie was Kara was like, okay, I can still go beat up bad guys. Like that doesn't make me not a good person, right? Like, she's still a good person. And I think, yeah, that was kind of the big message I got from that movie. Um, I'm gonna go find that quote and make sure
Yeah.
and reread it, reread it and stuff. But I remember in the movie, I was like, oh, I really like that. And I think that part, that minute or two was very like relatable, at least for me, what she was saying. So
Yeah. I like that too, and I think that there's a cool kind of juxtaposition of Superman and Supergirl in this case because like in the DCU is you get like for Clark, his parents sent him to Earth to rule and to be bad, more or less, right? But he chooses to be good, right?
yeah.
And then you get Kara, whose parents were like, "Don't do what your cousin sent to do. Be like, be good." But she's kind of being bad, a little bit, right? So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's like I think it's this really cool comparison for them to to both kind of come to this choice though, and it's cool to have like instead of Superman being like your titular good guy of like, hey, come to Earth and be their savior. It's like no, he was meant to be a bad guy. But Kara, like her parents were like, no, be the good guy. And I think that's a cool comparison because yeah, it's just Supergirl can so often come across as just very like loose cannon, reckless, just kind of crazy and
Rude.
a lot of stuff. Yeah, and but I mean that's kind of what you like about her too is she's just kind of like doesn't put up with crap where Clark's like, well, do whatever you want me to do. So
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
I think that there's some good dynamics. They definitely both feel like real people who have real emotions
Mhm.
and real experiences. Um, it's yeah, that's something that I definitely like is that they're like both Clark and Kara at this point are very emotional people. And Clark, like, I mean, you like never see Superman in other movies, like yelling at people and getting mad and just like just kind of showing like the normal weaknesses of human being a human, right? So I like that we see that in the Superman movie and that we're, getting some of that um, with Kara as well, I think is cool.
Totally.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. Like I said, I'm super excited to see like more of her and especially her and Clark's dynamic. Um, I kind of hope to see, I really won't. I would have liked to see a little scene maybe of because Kara knew Clark was sent there to be a conqueror. Her dad told her that.
Yeah.
Um, and like you said, when he said, you're not that, like you're not being sent there for that reason, I would have liked to see maybe a scene of maybe like Kara's surprise about how like kind and heartfelt Clark was and seeing that like he didn't take over Earth. Um, maybe that would have taken away from the story of the movie.
Mm,
But I just think that's kind of like, she's like, whoa, you're supposed to be like this conqueror, and he's not. He's this like
yeah.
bright, bubbly, kind person. And so even if it was like, less than 5 minutes, less than 3 minutes, but just like something that was like, I don't know, something like that along those lines, like, she's kind of like surprised and shocked, and, they do have more in common about trying to be good people, right? So, yeah, just something like that maybe would have been kind of cool to see.
Yeah, I agree. Brian just came in. Welcome, Brian. And yes, we are still talking Supergirl.
I think, I
We're
don't know, at least for me, that's all I have to say on Supergirl. So I don't think there's gonna be any more spoilers. I don't think,
no.
Brian.
I
Correct
think
me if
the
I'm
only
wrong, Greg.
I think the only question is, since this is a Lego and movies podcast, what Lego sets do we need to
Yes.
get out of this movie?
I don't think there's gonna be any more spoilers, Brian, to be honest. There's nothing in my mind. Um, as far as Lego sets go, obviously, I think we should have gotten some for Superman. I think we should have gotten some. We need more DC Lego. We've talked about this.
Oh my gosh,
Um,
yes.
but just with like the DCU growing and like so many projects already like out that would have had amazing Lego sets, and so many projects are in the works and already coming out and like announced. Like I think there's such a huge opportunity with Superman, and like yes, Supergirl might have not been the biggest movie of the summer, right? Especially with Spider-Man and the Odyssey coming out, but like
Yeah,
you don't have to make a million sets of the movie. Make one or two, right? Sometimes I feel like Lego makes a billion sets for a movie, and I'm like, you don't need to make like two or three sets, or like one
yeah,
really nice one, or something like that. Like you don't need to do so much. Sometimes it's a little overwhelming. I'm like, okay, it's a little excessive. So, obviously maybe bigger and more popular movies, sure, make more sets, but like something like Supergirl, I think there's an audience obviously for those Lego sets. So make 2 to 3 sets, small, medium-sized sets, right?
yeah.
That people can get the figures from, right? Or like a little something from the movies. So, um, yeah, yeah, that's my take on that.
No, I agree. And it's I mean, I don't know if you saw this, but there's the Olivia Rodrigo sets that they just announced last
Oh
couple of days.
gosh,
And it's funny because
don't
I've seen a couple of people
even.
making comments like, you can make Olivia Rodrigo sets, but you can't make DC sets. And I mean, I know it's a totally
True,
different
dude.
audience. It's a totally different audience
Yeah.
for sure. But I'm still just like, why are we putting our effort towards this? I mean, I guess maybe it's just because it's a different audience, but I'm just like, number one, Olivia Rodrigo, I don't think is a very good role model for teenagers or anybody in
I would
general.
agree.
But, um,
100% agree.
but yeah, I mean, I think it's. I really have to
Let's
wonder
not
what's
even
going
bring
on. Let's not bring that. Yeah, Brian says let's not bring that
Brian.
up. Agreed. Um, I think what I just keep coming back to is I'm like, I'm pretty sure Lego at this point knows that people want DC sets. If they don't,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and then on that note, it's like they know this. Why are they not doing it? I mean, I have to wonder like what's actually going on behind the curtain that's causing this not to happen. Um,
Yeah. I would agree.
I mean, yeah, that's like my big question. Like, are they going through some like licensing issue?
And
Is Warner
maybe.
Bros. Like, yeah, is it because of like the Netflix Warner Bros. Acquisition? Is it? I mean, like, is it something there? Um, I don't. I have to wonder. There's a few of these themes, like Avatar: The Last Airbender. People have been begging for those to come back. I mean, those sets would be ridiculous. They would sell
Yeah.
so well. Um, and bringing back DC, which was, I mean, Superman sets. We want to see Green Lantern. We want to see a lot of this really cool
Yes, dude.
stuff. And like DC's coming back into the light in the sense of the popularity of the average fan. I think it's coming in a
Mhm.
better direction than it was back in the end of the 2000s or 2010s. But um, yeah, I'm just like, why is this not happening? Is it something about licensing? Is it, it's just, I just have to wonder about things like this. What's holding them back from doing something that seems so obvious? Um,
Yeah.
Heck, I think I just saw a petition from a there's a creator out there that's been like trying to get people to
Yeah.
sign a petition. Yeah,
Yep. I've seen
I
it.
need, I need to
Yeah.
sign it.
No, well, seriously, I think it's up to the Lego community to like actually do something. And I think, like you said, I think Lego's aware, obviously. Like I'm sure they have either people or systems that literally go scan the internet, right?
Yeah,
Um, and so I think they know. Like I think they're aware of what the community wants to a certain extent. But I do think like actual action, other than just like making a video, right? Like actual action. Um, from the Lego community is like what we need. And so like that petition 1500, which isn't a crazy huge amount, but like it's a start, like it's something, right? And I think it
yeah,
could continue to build. Like that's only been in a couple days. And so like I think it could continue to grow and build. And again, if Lego's having licensing issues, obviously there's nothing we can do about that as the, as the Lego community. We
yeah,
can't control the licensing. If it's not the licensing and like Lego's just being a bum about DC, then hopefully it would do something or mean something to to Lego.
totally.
Um, but yeah, so I hope it grows. I hope it keeps getting bigger. I'll share the petition thing to my story, Brian. I'll share it to all our
Yeah,
stories. Um, but yeah, and so I hope someday we can get DC because I would love the Daily Planet up here with the rest of
yes,
my Marvel buildings. Like I want the Daily Planet, and like there's just so many characters that don't get the recognition they deserve, like Green Lantern, I think, and the Flash.
yep.
And I just think, but when you do think about this, what was Lego putting out Marvel sets? Were they putting out like when Iron Man and Hulk, Thor, were they putting out a ton of, or were they just like the superhero
The superhero
sets?
sets, like the first Superman set, it was Superman, Wonder Woman, and Lex Luthor's robot. That came out right around the same time as Avengers came out, which was 2012. And then same thing with the Deadpool, Wolverine, and Magneto set was also at the same time. So they kind of launched. They also had these like weird buildable figures of like Hulk and Iron Man and Captain America, and then they also had
Okay,
like
yeah,
Green
yeah, yeah.
Lantern. They had Green Lantern, Batman, and Joker. They never made a Superman. So weird. Um, but yeah, so that was like kind of their launch, and then they started doing more DC superheroes and Marvel after that point. I mean, yeah, and I think there was a lot of that. Those they weren't movie based at that point yet, though. Like none
Yeah,
of
they
the like
weren't.
most of the
That's
Marvel sets were not movie based. They did have some
that's what I
Avengers
thought.
sets. So they
But
did
yeah,
have
yeah,
some
yeah,
Avengers
yeah.
sets,
I have
but
one. Yeah,
yeah. So yeah, I
just
don't know.
kidding.
I mean, what's I think what's funny to me too is when you think about like Lego DC, and you imagine, you know, I assume let's just take a gander here and say, hey, we got one Superman set out in the last like 5+ years, and we've had all Batman sets. So I assume that in a lot of ways, like, Lego's had some contractual thing for Batman. They've been able to keep producing it almost nonstop for
Yeah,
20 years now. Um, but now, but well, yeah, with Superman, it's like Superman and the rest of the characters. I think that there's a licensing cost per character, um, something like that. But if you think about this from like a Warner Bros. Perspective, I'm like, you guys, if they're like the ones that are like maybe being a little too greedy or something like that, I'm like, at the moment you're
maybe.
making $0 by not conceding, and if you would have been making
Yeah,
sets the last 5 years, I mean, people probably would have been buying them. And if you were going to make them now, I think people would buy them. So
yeah.
it's a little funny that it's not happening. I just yeah, I have to just be like, don't you like money?
And maybe strategy by Lego, to be like, okay, like let's get this insane demand for Lego DC, and then they're gonna, and maybe they're just like, boom, here's a bunch of either overpriced sets maybe to try to
Yeah.
sell to make more money, right? Create this huge demand, right? Oh, there's a huge petition. Everyone wants Lego to see. All right, let's drop some sets and charge a little more. Everyone's gonna go buy it because crazy demand and people want it. Um, do I think they should do that? Obviously not.
Yeah.
I hope they don't do that. I hope that's not their plan. They're just holding out on us to create a demand, right? I hope that's not what they're doing, but you just never know, with big companies and stuff like that. Obviously, they're always looking to make more money. So, which you
Yeah.
can't blame them, but I do hope that it is some sort of licensing thing they can just figure out and there's a good reason. But man, I really was hoping for Lego Superman last year, and like I really would have loved Lego Peacemaker sets, Vigilante. And
Yeah.
there's literally some amazing characters from the show. And even Creature Commandos, I think they could have done some sweet minifigs for those sets or for that show.
Yeah.
And so I think we just have missed out on a lot of cool potential stuff. And just thinking about like future, like um, or the show coming out, and even Clayface, which I'm so excited for.
Yeah.
Like we could get some real, like we've never gotten a legit Clayface minifig ever. All the cool ones you see out there are from other people,
Totally.
um, and they
They're all
look really
quotable.
cool. But
Yeah.
like, I think it would just be, there's just so much potential, and then I think the DCU, I mean, maybe kind of to close out, but I think the DCU is off to a great start. Everything besides Supergirl, which Supergirl has a high audience rating. Let's just clear that up. Like it has a super high audience rating,
Yeah.
which I think at the end of the day is what matters when you're like looking to go see this. It's like,
Yeah.
look, I look at the audience, what other people are saying. So
Totally.
obviously it is the lowest rated DCU project though. I'm pretty sure.
Hmm.
Like Creature Commandos, Peacemaker, um, very highly rated. Even Superman was pretty good. Not as high as
Yeah.
those, still pretty good. And so I think we're off to a great start though, and I have no doubts in the DCU at all. There's people that are like, "Oh, Supergirl flopped, like the DCU's dead." No, not at all. Like I think we're still off to an amazing start, like a great
Yeah.
start. And I think with the lanterns and Clayface, um, I think it's just going to be amazing. And I literally can't wait to see all the future projects because I think we're really off to a great start. So
Yeah. I agree. I think it's looking really good, and I think the future is bright. You know, I don't like stuff that's just super gritty. So I can't take a lot of gore. Like in fact, I can't handle gore. Even though my name's Greg
so so
Gory.
you're not so you're not
So
looking forward to
I
Clayface.
I saw the Clayface trailer and I was like, oh, I think I turned it off like halfway through. I was so grossed out. So I was like, yeah, I don't think it's gonna be one for me. But but
I can't wait.
but I go back and watch my TV shows, my kids' TV shows like the Batman. If I want to see Clayface, PG is enough for me. No,
But I
uh,
do think. Oh, sorry. Um, don't want Stranger Chapter 3 then. Um, One thing. I'm sorry. We can start end super soon. I'll finish out here, then I'll let you finish, and then we'll close out because I don't like it to go super long. But I will say one thing I do like about this new DCU universe is that there's something for everyone because you go from Superman, which is I would say a pretty like family friendly, like bright, hopeful, there's some funny, right? Movie to, I mean, heck, you can even say like Peacemaker. Like there's a big difference between the two, right? And even Clayface, which is more of a horror vibe. So there is a little something for everyone. I really like that. Like I really like that because I'm glad it's not all the same thing kind of over and over and over again. Um I did feel like with Marvel you got a little bit of that where it
yeah,
was the same vibe over and over again. Um and so I like that there's a little something for everyone. Even if you don't watch every project, like there's still certain movies that might be right up your alley or certain movies not up your alley.
totally.
There's definitely Marvel movies I wish they would have done. Like I wish the Venom ones would have been a little more gritty. I thought they were too light for Venom. especially the second one. So no, I'm just excited. I'm just glad that they're doing different things. They're hitting all genres, but including the superheroes that we love, and hopefully staying true to them. Right? Obviously not making a gritty, dark Superman movie because that's not Superman, but making a
Yeah.
gritty, dark Clayface movie, right?
Yep.
And so, like, I'm glad they're doing that, and I hope they stay very true to the characters and whatever projects. But yeah, I'm glad they're venturing out into different genres. So
Agreed.
that's my final say.
Agreed. No, and I think there's a great strategy of just like, make your big movies as accessible to every audience as you can. In fact,
Yeah,
I'd say Supergirl probably went a little too violent or just a little too grotesque in some areas in terms of just like, I mean, of course, I had my 4-year-old son there and was like covering his eyes for like 15 minutes of the movie because I was just like, I don't know when else I'm gonna go see it. He's gonna have to come with me. But but you know, but besides that, I think like yeah, make your mainstream movies really count, and then yeah, pull the different audiences. Some people are like, hey, I love horror, and I'm like, perfect, Clayface is for you, right? And I think
yep,
also like, hey, is there a way for us to like? I would love to see kids' TV shows come back. I mean, growing up, it was
yeah,
Justice League Unlimited, and it was Superman and Batman the animated series, and Legion of Superheroes and the Batman and Ninja Turtles. I mean, there were some awesome different shows growing up that we had that were so accessible for kids on Saturday morning cartoons, and
yeah,
no one's making anything like that anymore, and I don't understand why. I guess my adventures with
yeah.
Superman is more along those lines.
I I
It's
was gonna say that.
fantastic. I love that
Yeah,
show. Love that show.
I'm excited for the Green Lantern one too.
Yeah, same. So yeah. Anyway, I would love to see us like bring in the whole genre. I'd love to, and I think the more we can advertise towards kids in terms of content, the more likely we are to get Lego sets. Um,
Yeah,
so I mean,
that's
obviously, they'll like,
that's
hey,
yeah.
we're never gonna put Daredevil in a Lego set, but we can put in the Daily Bugle, like in like a kids play set for whatever
So
reason.
sad.
But so I hope that that's kind of like a concept that we can get behind. I would love to just I yeah
Yeah.
I love DC. I love the
No, I
characters. I want to see them continue to thrive and be in the limelight. And I'm really happy to have Supergirl. And I'm really excited to see her with
yeah,
Superman and Man of Tomorrow next year. So that's
agreed.
I think it's gonna be awesome.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Well, I think that was awesome. I think that was a good combo on Supergirl and kind of again on the state of Lego DC and our
Yeah.
hopes and dreams and wishes for that. So
No doubt.
if you're listening to this or rewatching it, let us know what you thought of Supergirl, and what you hope to see Lego DC make someday. Your favorite DC character, hopefully turn Lego. But yeah, thank you guys. Thanks, Brian, as usual. But
Yes.
thanks to everyone though for watching, liking, sharing, commenting. It's just so fun to be able to do this, talk about things we love with all of our friends. So yeah, let us know what you thought. Um, yeah, thank you.
Heck yeah. And we'll see you on the next episode of No Instructions
See you
Included.
next week. Heck yeah. See ya.
See ya.